What's up, everybody? This is DJ Lionhead, and welcome to the Support Your Boy podcast. Now, we have a great guest today here. She is a resident of Sacramento. She is a DJ. I would definitely call her an artist as far as her aura, and what definitely pulled me in, and she was very active, and she seems like a person who is unforgivably herself. You may have seen her
True.
at the art gallery downtown in Sacramento. You may have seen her at the Lock and Key. You may have seen her so many places in downtown, and she was making you guys move and groove. She is the one. She is the only DJ Charmy Karma. Give it up for her, y'all. Yeah. Okay. So, first thing I have to ask you is, how did you get that name?
That's a funny question. I've been waiting to tell this story because it's so funny. So I'm also a rapper, so that is my rapper name. But got the name from it was a randomized name on, I believe it was like Xbox account. It was my Xbox account name years ago, and it was a randomized name, and it was like it fit perfectly, and it stuck with me, and it's still my name.
Okay, that's good. So,
Yeah.
you've been a rapper, and how long have you been a DJ?
I started rapping, I want to say like 2017, maybe 2016. Yeah. And then I started DJing. I've only been a DJ for a little bit over a year, maybe like 2 years at the end of this year. So, yeah, still a little fresh on that.
I have to admit, you are a very accomplished DJ for such a short length of time. Now, it's crazy.
I,
The time that you started rapping is the time that I started to develop being a DJ. Really officially 2017, but yeah. The reason why I mention it is because you're doing what you're doing as far as your DJing, as far as going into bars and venues and things of that nature. That would be my weakness. So, what's your strength, which I see, is my weakness,
uh-huh.
which is crazy. So, I wanted to ask you a question from a person who has that weakness. How do you get in contact and speak to the venues that you want to DJ there?
So when I first started DJing, I kind of had like my own. I was a part of my own space. I had like a warehouse space. So I kind of got started in like DJing, just do like throwing parties in my own parties. But certain like Radcliffe's, that is a bar that I emailed myself and I started with. But that was because I had previously got invited to DJ there, with another group that was throwing a party there. So once I got in contact with them, I was told they're a space that kind of lets you have all different types of events. So I got in contact with them, and now we're on a pretty solid basis. And now I've been doing my reggae Sundays there. And then I'm throwing a rave there as well. Other spaces like Boss 5-Star Lounge, Lock and Key. I haven't DJ'd there yet, but I'm going to next weekend. It's really true when they say that it's who you know. Because at my daytime job, I work with other DJs, and they, basically mentor me. And now I work with them, and they give me, gigs if they can't do them, or they plug me in to like make sure that I am successful and can actually like DJ and get my practice in and get the experience in. So it's definitely a community. Like that is, I would say 80% of it is community, if not more, because, it's the people allowing you in their space, and it's people thinking about you when they have a party going on, or mentioning your name. And it is a lot of, for me at least, word of mouth, and people, telling me about, these things and inviting me in rather than me kind of seeking them out.
See, this is dope because maybe I have been, what's the word I'm trying to find out to say? I don't want to say stained, but I dealt with a lot of mixed reviews about my DJing, not about my skills. It's just my presentation. They're like, look up with the mask. Why are you wearing the mask? You're a DJ. Why don't you show your face? Now, of course, each DJ, tries to be, want to be a little bit different from the others. You know what I mean? You're not trying to be the next DJ. You're trying to be you as a DJ. You know what I mean? So I'm really proud and glad to hear that DJs in the Sacramento area are starting to allow you to be into a community. Because when I first started being out there, it was more of a competition. You know, who are you? Who's this new guy? Here he go again. A guy with a mask. About to, he about to be this or that. So to see
Mm,
that DJs are out there, especially in Sacramento,
mm,
accepting and allowing you to be within the community is beautiful to hear. Because when I started out, it was you're nobody until you get something, and then once you become kind of something, it just kind of allows them to search what you do wrong and bring that up to you. But it's very rare to see DJs sticking together, which I think they should do. And the fact that you have a community in Sacramento is
mm.
beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for it. It's definitely something I need. So I'm very grateful.
Have you online received any, maybe not backlash, but not so kind words due to what you do yet or not yet?
No, not that I can think of. Not from anybody like I would know. I don't tend to take comments from strangers too personally, especially on TikTok.
Right.
It,
That is
people are kind of mean on TikTok. They can be, but majority of people are extremely nice. So I don't really take those too personal. But I haven't really received anything about my skills or or anything like that. I haven't really seen any criticism, negative criticism at least. So.
you sound like you have the right mind frame for it to make
Mm,
sure that you're not going to let that affect you, because I don't let that affect me either, because if I did I would never put this mask back on, and I got it on every damn
right.
time. So another thing I wanted to ask you, for those people who, let's say, even in the comments, they're thinking about DJs, or wanting to be one, and they just need to take that first step. If you were to instruct them, what will be the first step in order to be a DJ? What would you let them know?
You really have to, what I would say, okay, hold on. I want to say you really have to I want to say you really have to love music,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like it's a little bit more complex than like just that phrase. I really feel like you have to love everything about it. Like, I feel like you have to love sharing music and being prepared to, alter your music taste
Uh-huh.
to share music, I guess. Like, I have a pretty wide music taste, and I really feel like that's kind of why I'm successful, because I play multiple genres and I don't stick to one box or one energy, and I can play for multiple people and I can switch the energy quickly if I realize that, it's not working. And so, yeah, the craft is, all of it comes with all of it. It comes with, having a certain type of ear and, paying attention to the energy that music brings. It's not just like a surface level thing. Like, it's paying attention to like the different aspects of music and why these different aspects are important and what they do bring and why they change energy and all of these different types of things. So
I like that because I can tell you're an open format DJ.
mhm.
Open format as far as music, genres, things of that nature. I'm sort of that way too. Most of my DJing is for, I would say I'm a mobile DJ. I usually do a lot of house parties, quinceañeras, things of nature, on the outside. That's where I do most of my DJing. I haven't done too much venues, which is, like I said, my weakness. Gonna learn. I'm gonna start getting into that. But most of my DJing has been from, mobile, leaving Sacramento, coming out, because I DJ from all the way from Santa Cruz to I would say Shingle Springs out there. But that's as far as I'll go. I'm not going to go to LA, I'm not going to go way up to, just that Northern California area. Have you done any mobile DJs out of town just yet?
No, I have not. I've been pretty local for the most part. Um,
That is probably best. I wish I was more local like you were and had the community to assist you. And I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. But
yeah.
to see you doing that is great. And I love the fact that when I first saw you, you seemed like an open format DJ. You were down to do different things like raves and reggae, which I love, and raves, which I love, and hip hop. So the fact of seeing you doing these things, I was like, man, she's really not like just a one trick pony when it comes to genre. She's willing to do a lot of things, just like me. I'm willing to learn to try to do something different, which is great. I have a couple questions. Give me a second.
Mhm.
I wrote them down, so give me 1 second here.
No problem.
Okay, here's a good one. So, can you tell us about a most unforgettable night you had DJing, whether it's good or bad? One good one and one bad one.
So I haven't really DJ'd like a lot of big parties. I did a lot of personal, a lot of smaller, intimate parties, but I have done. So I DJ house. I DJ like Chicago house, like old school house. I DJ, the different types of electronic houses, but I like to stick to the old school house. And I DJ B&B and jungle and all of those things. And so I did a anime party. It's called Kaiju Jukebox. Did an anime party, and there is an artist named Yari Pamu,
Hmm.
and she is a J-pop artist. So she's Japanese pop, not K-pop. So it
Right.
sounds a little different.
Exactly.
And I've loved her for a very long time. She's been one of my favorite artists before I started DJing, and she makes like fun, like quirky, empowering music. If you look up the words, it's always empowering. Because I
Hmm.
always look up the words. I always translate them and look them up. But there's this one song specifically called "Fashion Monster," and it's like a kind of a hardcore, like low key, like rock sounding, like it has a hella guitar in it,
Hmm.
and I played Paint It Black by, I think it's Rolling Stones. I always forget the name. Is it Paint It, do you know what song I'm talking about?
I think so. I gotta hear it, and I'm like, oh, what a song.
It has the drums. I wish I could. I see a red door and I want to paint it black. And it has the guitar. Yes, exactly. Yes.
I'm sorry about that.
Yes, yes. And so I played that, and then I transitioned into Fashion Monster. And
Oh,
as I was like slowly transitioning into Fashion Monster, I took hella long to transition into it. It'd be like a whole minute. But as I was doing that, everybody started coming in slowly and they started dancing in a circle. And that was like my first time like doing a party like that. I've done a party where I played like jungle and I played like house, but I never got to play like my really unique like stuff, like my stuff where I'm like, ooh, this is such a fun song, but it's not like everybody's like typical song you hear when you're like at a party.
yeah.
And so that was really fun for me. It was a really affirming moment because everybody came and danced in a circle and they were cheering for each other, and it was just great. It was just a great moment. That was definitely one of my most memorable sets and parties. So that was the first time I did an artist DJ too, and I was you know controlling the artists. There was performances at that party too. So
Oh, that's gotta be fun. Especially, I know it sounds like you were like really tempted to do. This transition goes right. It's gonna be beautiful.
mhm. Yeah, and not to mention, I was playing on a deck that I've never played on before. I was playing on a bigger, a much. I have a Hercules. I think it's not. I think it's a no. It's a Serato Hercules. It's not a Pioneer. I was playing on a big ass Pioneer that I've never played on ever. That was my first time playing on it. So I
Oh,
have literally learned how to play on it that night. So
yeah.
that
See,
was fun
I
too.
play on a new mark right here.
Yep.
The new mark right here.
Mine
But
is
yeah,
just about that size, and that one was huge, and it had the little screen on it, so I got to do the little touch screen.
man, that has to. I
That
have
was
not done that yet, where I got on somebody else's controller that I don't know and try to make it
mhm,
happen. I have not done
mhm.
that yet.
Pretty intimidated by that.
Yeah.
I'm such a like creature of habit. I
Hmm.
love my controller. I know all the buttons, and as soon
Exactly.
as I see another controller, this is how funny it was. I couldn't find the button to for the headphones. I was looking and I was like, "Where is it?" And it was called Q. It was a Q button, and I was like, "Oh, that's why." I didn't know that's what that was.
Yeah, that happens,
So,
man. I seen the guy. He had like that. I think it's called a quad, or that really big one. It's called a quad
mhm.
something, and it's like a standalone. It has like you have like the screen with all the music right there. You don't need a laptop kind of ones. He spent like
You
four
see,
thousand
you
on it.
can use your laptop, which I didn't know that. If you plug up your laptop, it works the same as the USB. All of your songs go right onto the screen.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't even know that
Yeah.
until
I will be intimidated about that. I have to admit that. Um,
yeah.
can you give us a funny moment that you had? One of the most funniest moments DJing that you'll never forget. It could be something that happened, maybe not to
I'm
you
not
or
gonna
something at a
lie.
party.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna lie. I have fun all the whole time. I can't. I'm a funny DJ. I get like I have my serious moments, but like when I'm like doing parties, like I'm having full blown fun. Like
There you
the
go.
whole thing is funny. So I can't. There's like So I guess I would say like one of my favorite, like that I remember. I guess I could say this was funny. I did a Halloween party and I did it at a queer bar, and so that's Radcliffe's. That's where I do a lot of my. That's what I'm doing the rave at. And so there was. I already knew that I could play Spice Girls, and so it was really fun for me to play Spice Girls because everybody was in there doing the Spice Girl dances and stuff. It was super fun.
They're like, I wonder how I get
Mhm.
it. Oh
Yep.
man. Okay, so another one question I had here. Let's see here. All right. Yeah. Okay. How do you like? How do you like lead the crowd when your set isn't landing? And what's your go-to move to turn the energy around?
So you said, how do I lead the crowd?
Right. Like say you were playing a song, right? Like kind of introduce one song to another, and this new song you introduced, they're not like really feeling. They were like bobbing their heads, they're dancing for a while, and you play, and you see them going like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like, oh, you tell,
Okay, how do I flip it back around?
yeah.
That hasn't happened to me too many times, but there was a time. So, like you said, I'm open format. On Thursdays, I do, every Thursday I do what's called Sacred Sessions. And it's like an open mic style thing. So people come together and they perform and they do their poetry and all this. And I DJ for about an hour before we start performing. And there was a time where I was playing like all hip hop and nobody was feeling it for some reason. I was like, these are bangers. I don't know why nobody was feeling it. I
Right.
literally went I just transitioned from hip hop to house immediately. Like there was no, I'm just gonna go, just gonna switch it. And as soon as I switched it, everybody started just vibing. It's like sometimes you don't, I mean, like in that setting when it's like not any expectations, it's not a party, it's like it's a bar, it's a lounge. So like, I have a little bit more freedom of like how to control the energy where I feel like if it's like a party, I wouldn't be so abrupt in that. I usually I go off of BPM and then I've been learning about the wheel, the
Mhm.
1A, 2A, that I've been learning about that. And so I've been going off of that as well, realizing that that does change the energy abruptly. Like not only the BPM changes it, but that does too. And so when I transition, I just try to stick to that, to the same like a few BPM off, and I will slow the song down or speed it up if I need to, and then put it back to normal. I'm not a big fan of hearing songs when they're sped up or slowed down.
No, I
So
can't do that.
feel like it's like I want to sing the song at the pace or I want to vibe to the song at the pace I'm used to.
Yeah.
So I will use that to transition, but I don't stick to it. So I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, I guess I would say to kind of give you an idea. Like for example, when I do hip hop shows,
Mhm.
I'll do like a song that like old school, but nobody's really feeling it. Like for example,
Okay.
I was doing like straight up Bay Area event, right? This is in Vallejo. It's a Bay Area event, and I didn't know in my list of songs that I accidentally put Adam's Family by MC Hammer. They do what they want to do inside their set in Vallejo.
Uh-huh.
And these people are like 20, 25. They didn't know what the hell they wasn't feeling it. And man, all I had to do was spin that wheel, instantly put on Mac Dre.
Yes.
Anything Mac Dre will save your life.
Yes.
Anything
Absolutely.
that I can
Especially
put on
for
Mac Dre, it
the
will set everything
hyphen.
back. Yeah,
I'm a
that's
big fan of
one of them
Magnet.
that saved me there. I'll see another question here that I had. Okay, I kind of asked you this question before, but here we go. So, if you can give one piece of advice to someone who's trying to break into DJ starting today, what's one thing you would say what's one mistake you should tell them to avoid?
Well, I would tell them build their playlist. I know that's kind of like not fully what you're asking, but my first thing would say I would say build your playlist right now.
Mhm.
Start right now. Like start, because it's hard to DJ with only, a handful of songs, and it's like start listening to the songs that you love, add those to playlists,
Mhm.
start there. Start with songs that you love. I would say I don't know. It's hard for me to go off of avoiding, like to what to avoid. I kind of don't. I kind of look at life in the opposite way. So I like my brain's like I don't know what to avoid.
Here's a question,
Um,
and let me know what you would think. Let's say first time I'm DJing, right? And I said,
mhm.
I look at all this equipment. Do you agree or disagree that the more expensive the equipment, the better you're going to be?
No, I disagree.
And tell us
I
why.
disagree because you could always get that equipment when you're good. You got to start at the basics. You can do really good stuff with the basic deck with the basic controller, and also like Yeah, I mean, that's really it. You can do the basics with the basic controller, and you can also do really advanced stuff with the basic controller.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Speaking of DJing slash transition, I want to transition about your artist as far as being a rapper.
Mhm.
You have any songs recently or not, either they're new or previous that's on like Spotify that we can check out?
Yeah, I have a bunch of songs on Spotify. I don't make I'm a jack of all trades, so I tend to do a little bit, and then I stop doing it. So I haven't made music in a while. Did drop a song I'm featured on, got dropped in the beginning of was it the beginning of this year? I believe it was. I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember exactly the day, but a lot going on. But it did get dropped, I believe, in the beginning of this year. It's on Spotify under Charming Karma.
Yeah.
So you can hear most of my stuff, most of it going back to, I want to say, like I said, 2017, maybe 2018.
You hear that, you guys? When you go on Spotify or your Apple Music or your title, check out Charming Karma. Let's take it because I'm going to take a look at it. I have titles that way. When I listen to it on title, she gets more money instead of listening on Spotify. So
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
exactly, I like to hear that, and I definitely will be. That's another thing I was going to say. I have some questions because you're a rapper too. So, and I get a lot of rappers here. So I got a lot of questions for that too. So I have a this is hilarious. Well, the first question I'm going to ask you is: have you performed as a rapper yet?
I have. I have a few times, but nothing too big. My biggest performance was probably at the Midway, but I was invited on by my friend, my DJ friend, who was a DJ at the time, and he brought me on there to perform three of my songs, and he was one of the openers. So, but I performed here and there, little small things, nothing too big.
Okay. So I have this segment called "What's Your Preference?" and you basically let me know what is your preference when it comes to Charming Karma, either performing or her writing process. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a question. What's your preference? Whether you rather would do this or would you do that? What is your preference in this situation? So let's start with this one. Charming Karma, what's your preference when you're on stage? Cordless mic or wired mic? And why? Cordless. Why is that?
It's I don't want to think about the wire. I haven't quite got down like stage presence with wire down, so I don't want to think about the wire.
Yeah. Okay. Performance. Charming Karma. Let's say you're performing and you started to notice when you're doing your set that the entire building is intoxicated. What's your preference that the crowd be intoxicating when your music is playing? Weed or alcohol?
Weed. Yeah. I make stoner music.
Same here. Okay. Another one I had here. There's one I had that was mostly for men, but I'm trying to figure out one how I can make it for a woman. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to make this one here, make this one work. Okay. Say you're performing, okay, and you started noticing there's a lot of men in the front row, and they're looking at you, enjoying your music, but they're also like eyeballing you in that, you know what kind of way I'm saying. And you started noticing that as you're rapping, some of the men in the front row are yelling. They're yelling, "What's your cash app?" or "What's your phone number?" Which one would you rather them actually give to them if you had a chance, if you wanted to give them one?
I'm for surely giving them my cash app.
You ain't trying to get that number. You don't need the number, huh?
If you offer it, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. If you say what's your cash app, that means you have cash for me.
Exactly. All right. This is what's I think I'm gonna mention to you. When you write your songs, you usually write them in 12 bars or 16. What's your favorite? Your preference?
I'm gonna be really honest with you. I don't exactly know. I don't follow a certain like thing. I just do it. Like I would always have the people I'm with. I'd be like, how many bars is this? I think 16 because I do rap for a long time, but I think
Okay.
16.
Most likely, you're probably gonna do 60
Yeah.
if you.
Yeah.
Because it sounds to me. Let me know if I'm wrong. Okay. It sounds to me when you write your song, you listen to the song, listen to the beat, and you just keep writing to the point where you'll stop when you start hearing the chorus. Once you hear the chorus, okay,
Yes.
that's gonna be the first
Yes.
verse.
Or sometimes I have the chorus first.
That's good.
Yeah, sometimes, but a lot of times, yeah, I don't. I also one of my favorite things to do is actually feature on songs because I like to bounce off people's energy. A lot of, like I said, a lot of my songs, I don't have a huge catalog. I
Yeah.
have a couple from like for a few years, and then I have like a little chunk of time, a gap. But a lot of them are featured, and I like to do that because I feel like I like to tell stories with people, and so when I do that, I do write I do like rap for pretty long. Like
Right.
I usually have pretty long verses, so.
Okay. All right. All right. Here's the one I'm going to ask you about AI in music. What do you think about it?
Ooh, no. Like it is there's like it's a sticky situation. Like it's gonna always be sticky because we know AI has to take from other people,
Right.
and we don't. That's crossing the line. I think
Yeah.
I think that's definitely crossing the line, especially with music. There's music has magic in it. Well, that's what I believe. But music has magic in it, and when you take out the human spirit, you're missing a big portion of what makes music literally exist. Like music comes from the muses, which is Greek mythology. They're the goddesses of art and the goddesses of sound and all of these things. And it's like we're taking out a big portion of how music even came to be. Like music is the name of or when you say like angels names, or you say God's names, or when you hear the horns, like that's all music. Like we're taking out the spirit of that
Yeah.
when you let a machine do most of it.
Right. I would say it is a big hindrance for artists. It is a great tool in some cases for artists, but it is hindering for artists. But here's the funny thing. Some would say, and I kind of feel them on it, that it is a great tool for
Hmm.
due to there are different remixes and there's different styles that you can switch due to the AI music. Some people say that, hey, when I DJ, I'm usually DJing AI music along with regular music, and that's how they feel about it. How do you feel about DJs? Let's say he used nothing but 100% AI music. Would you say that is a good thing or bad thing? What's your opinion on that?
I wouldn't like it at all. I would definitely have a huge bone to pick. I'm a very critical person.
Yeah.
I don't mind, maybe quiet. I might seem quiet, but I'm a very critical person, especially about music. I'm not judgmental. I'm critical, and I would be extremely critical about that.
That would be
Um,
crazy though to see a DJ
yeah,
do 100%, or especially they say if you had a party and you hired him because he's got skill and he did your party and every song he did was a remix due to AI.
yeah. No, I would not be impressed by that. Same opinion kind of goes when you're DJing, you're controlling people's energy.
Mhm.
You know, why would I want to control my crowd's energy with artificial intelligence?
Ooh, that's so true. I like that. I like that. Well, can you please let us know what you have moving forward as far as like dates and places? You mentioned early in the beginning, but I want to make sure people who just tuning in towards the middle of this on YouTube or whatever when they put this out that they really get it. What do you have moving forward this week or for the rest of this month?
So, like I said, every Thursday at Boss Five Star Lounge in Old Sac, California, in Old Sacramento on Front Street, I do Sacred Sessions, which is an open mic type style event at the bar. And you can come and we have people come and do comedy. We have people come and perform songs, sing. Some people do covers, not in a karaoke style. You got to do it off the top of the dome, to show off your singing skills. We have beat makers come. Whatever your talent that you can kind of share with other people in that kind of setting, we welcome it. And DJ that event, and it's a fun thing to do. Thursday nights, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then I'll be doing that. And then next week on Saturday, March 28th, I believe, I'm doing a music comedy show, Music Loves Comedy Show. So I'll be DJing for the comedy show as well. Will be performances on that. This Thursday is actually a special Sacred Sessions because we're doing a takeover. So it's called a Top Shelf Takeover, where there's a whole lineup of performances already set, already planned, and so that will be this Thursday. I have reggae night. So my next Saturday is packed. I have reggae nights every last Saturday of the month. which is coming up, and that is also at Boss 5-Star Lounge, and that is super fun. There's two DJs, me and DJ Rashawn, and we play. I play roots. I play rub-a-dub, dub style. I play all different types of very specific reggae that's kind of like sound system culture based. So that's always really fun too because it's for dancing, and I love to dance. That is also why I'm a DJ, because I love to dance. I love to throw parties because I love to party.
Like, can you do me a favor? That event on the 28th, send it to me. I'm trying to be there.
The reggae one?
Yes.
Got you. Will do.
It don't feel weird because I'm showing up like this. Yeah, I'm gonna be dancing with this on.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll be fun. They actually have a big rug or mat of a lion.
Nice. That even works. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And then I have the rave on April 10th. That is going to be on a Friday.
Okay.
April 10th. It is a jungle DMB rave. 4 DJs. One of them is a producer, and she produces her own jungle DMB house. And the rest of us, we are DJs, and we do. I mean, actually, I think the other two are also producers as well, but one of them specifically, Beats by Virgo, she specifically does a whole set of just all her own joints. So that's super fun.
Where's this one gonna be at?
That one's at Radcliffe's. I did post about that one on my page.
Okay.
You should see you should see the flyer as the cover.
Don't worry, I'm gonna share it. One thing I'm gonna tell you about here, Portrait Boy Podcast. It's not just the name; it's something I kind of live by. If you notice that most of my stories on Instagram and things of that nature, anybody who's been on my podcast, if they post something and I see it, I'm gonna share it. So that goes for you too. Anything you post, and if I'm gonna see it, it's gonna be on my story. It's gonna be shared, whether you like it or not. As long as you're on the your stuff's gonna be shared. You don't pay me, you don't do nothing, and because you accept to be on the podcast, I'm gonna do that as long as you're in Sacramento.
I appreciate that.
No problem. So if anybody wanted to get in contact with you, how would they get in contact with you as far as for DJing or say, I want to collab with her? She sounds like she might be dope. I heard one of her songs. How would they get in contact with you?
You could honestly Instagram me. If you do Instagram, you can Instagram me. That's my main point, and then from there we go. Do I need to give you my number? Do I need to give you my email? Do I need to give you this? My Instagram is Charming Karma, the same, but it has 2 A's at the end. Okay. So you should see my face on there.
Right. Is that the same for YouTube? Because I'm gonna follow that too.
I am not too active on YouTube yet. That's one of my goals, is to get active on YouTube, but I'm still figuring out how to do the technical side of like the recording and all that stuff. So yes, I'm not too active on
YouTube. You have an account up there though, right?
I do have an account, yeah.
If you could do me a favor, whenever you get a chance to, send me the link. I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say this for the people who are probably gonna watch this podcast, because it will be on YouTube. For those people out there who are going to see this podcast, where DJ Charming Karma is the guest, can you do me a favor? Even though, like, who the hell is this guy with the freaking mask on? I'm only here to see Charming Karma. I'm like, I don't know. Can you please do me a favor and hit subscribe on the podcast? Because I can only make this episode bigger with your help, guys. So make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to the Support Your Boy podcast. I appreciate that so much. At the same time, if you get a chance to, and you feel this episode so much, do the same thing for Charming Karma. Once she gets her thing set up, I would like for her to get as many subscribers as you can before she puts her first video out. You know what I mean? Same thing. Make sure if you do see the clips, because there will be clips of this episode, hit like and share. You know, let's go ahead and get this thing as big as we possibly can, because I want to see her do more things than she expected from this day moving forward. I want to thank you, Charming Karma.
Sorry.
Oh, God. I want to thank you for being on the podcast. And I got one last question I have to ask you. I ask everybody at the end of the podcast, so I got to ask you this question. DJ Charming Karma, is there a chance I can get you back on the podcast in the future?
I think so.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. We want to hear about how's it going, how those events went, and how you feel about moving forward, how you don't want to see your progression, so that way in the next episode we can really talk about it. Because when I'm there seeing your events and talking about it and me dancing and acting the fool, we can talk about that too. So it's gonna be great.
Yeah. Yes, you could tell. We could talk about it, and you could tell everybody how fun it was, and you could tell people they gotta come.
Maybe get them to come out there and dance with me.
Right.
Alrighty, guys. I want to thank you guys for coming to support Time podcast. I want to thank you, Charming Karma, for being on the podcast.
Before we go, I show gratitude to you, and I show gratitude to everybody in the comments and everybody who was a part of the conversation and who listened, because it was great talking with you. So
You too. And all I can tell you guys is peace out.